So I'm back with another video. I wanted to bring your attention to this story out of Lapeef, Louisiana, outside of New Orleans. We're talking about some newlyweds here, just married a couple of hours before this incident. The wife, Zanata Williams Jones, and the husband, Devin Jones. The couple had left their wedding reception along with a male friend. And the people traveling across the bridge that night, they got stuck there for hours. First due to a traffic accident, and then this.
Out of St. John Parish, where deputies say a man was arrested, still wearing his tuxedo from his own wedding after he began shooting at two people on the spillway Saturday night. Sheriff Mike Trigg says initially deputies were helping state police with a multi-car crash on the spillway around 10:30 last night. It brought traffic to a standstill when 911 calls came in of a shooter about a mile from the crash. Trigg says a domestic dispute in the car between 30-year-old Devin Jones, his newly married wife, and a male friend led up to the shooting. Both the male friend and another driver stuck in traffic were injured. Trigg says without a quick response from deputies on scene, it could have been much worse.
Last night's incidents was in my craziness of things I've seen in 33 years, that's going to be a top 10, maybe a top 5. But I have to, based on witness accounts and eyewitness accounts, most people told me that my deputies acted heroically. I mean, ran out there not knowing what was going on. It's basically an active shooter on the interstate. And one of my deputies, who was off duty in his car with his family, heard the call over the radio, left his family, and was one of the primary officers to make the apprehension of Mr. Jones on the interstate.
Jones faces multiple murder, battery, and other charges. Trigg says they plan to execute a search warrant on the car where they suspect the weapon is.
Just imagine being stuck on this bridge for hours after a tractor trailer turned over. Fish is all on the highway. And then you see a woman running in a wedding dress and a groom with a tuxedo on, running around with a pistol. It was a very chaotic scene because no one knew what was going on. But it looks like this newly married man was questioning the male friend with them about him having relations with his wife, the woman he just married a couple of hours before. You know, a lot of times you have men being pressured into going into marriage, putting a ring on it by a certain amount of time from people, society, women. But if you decide to marry someone, you have got to do your due diligence. And that goes for men and women. You always see red flags, but people ignore the warnings. It's like driving around in your car on E. You get a signal telling you that you need gas, but you ignore the signal and then you run out of gas. You have to be careful, especially men, when men really have the most to lose. You have to make sure they haven't messed around with any of your family members or your friends in your circle. Do they flirt with your friends, make inappropriate comments, and even body language? Because they just might be for the community, and it will really be messed up to find out on your wedding day, during your wedding, or after. When it comes to cheating and betrayal and how people handle it, it really depends on the person. But it seems like today there are a lot of people, especially men out there, with low tolerance. They find out that their wife is with another man. Well, that can become a crime scene very quickly. We had a video here recently where a girl was trying to get at her best friend's man. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave the link below to that video just in case you guys did not hear that story. But stuff like this could end very tragically. So now you have this woman, she's alive and well, nothing happened to her, but an innocent man just sitting there with his kids. On the way home, he was popped in the hand and he had nothing to do with this. So issues like this can be very dangerous for the people involved, of course, but also innocent people who have nothing to do with it. For the ladies out there, this is also a warning to you. You can't be out here playing games either. This woman almost lost her life. Let's go ahead and get this conversation started. What will you do if you just got married a couple of hours ago and you found out that your wife and a friend had an affair before you tied the knot? What would you do? I want to send a shout out to my girl Crystal and Jessica X. I want to thank you ladies for your support for this channel. Want to see more content like this? Hit up the Cash App. The link is below in the description. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis? Well, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.